I want to talk about an interesting phenomenon about it's just an anomaly or note about theory and chord progressions. And this may be more helpful to people that don't play chord instruments. But there's a chord symbol called just 11. Say, for example, a G11, which sounds like... Or you can do it like this, or this. It's all the same quality, which is basically, like a G dominant chord with the sus4. So, in other words, there's no third in it. But if you think about the theory side of it, G11, if you just stacked it as what a G11 would be normally thought of, you'd have something like G, B, D, F, A, C. But you notice it has a different sound then. So I've taken the third out. The third is removed. But somebody just looking at the chord may assume that if it says G11 that the third is included, but that's a different sound. If I added the third, it's not wrong, but it's not really idiomatically the assumed sound of a G11. So, and you can see this in a lot of old, those piano vocal books that Grandma would have in her, in her piano bench, that kind of thing. And when I grew up, I saw that a lot in those types of books because I grew up reading those. But here's another kind of anomaly with chord symbols. For example, let's say a G13. So what's different about the G13 is now you don't have the sus4. So if I stacked a G13 the way it would be assumed in theory, you'd have G, B, D, F, A, C, and then E. So as far as a theory take on that or view of that, it doesn't really sound like the 13 that we know of, which would be, or that quality is a dominant chord. So I think a lot of rhythm section players, other than pianists, already know that. They already assume that. And also an interesting aspect of 13 chords is you can add a sharp 11 without any issue. So, unless the arranger composer just did not want that sound. But that's something you can add, which is not typically thought of as obtrusive, but it adds a color that maybe in a lot of cases is not wanted. But if the person accompanying wants to throw that in there, it's really not too big of a deal. So anyway, this is just my little talk on the interesting analysis of 11 chords and 13 chords. And so that's my take on it. I've had conversations with people that disagree with me, and that's okay. I'm a pianist, so I've encountered these kinds of situations many times, and so that's my take on it. And anyway, okay, thanks for listening and allowing me this time to talk.